What's going on, guys? So today we're going to be starting our review of the Avengers Endgame Marvel Legends Wave 2. And there's going to be 7 figures in this set, and I'm going pretty much in the order they are displayed on the box. So we're going to be starting out here with WarMachine, then we're going to move into Marvel's Rescue, Shuri, Rock Python, Union Jack, Beta Ray Bill, Loki, and then we'll do the video on the Build-A-Figure Hulk. So let's go ahead and get started with WarMachine here. So this is a pretty hefty figure, probably one of my favorite WarMachines, and I'll show a comparison of the other 2 versions of them that I have. This version comes with 3 accessories. You have the shoulder-mounted gun here, and then he has 2 guns under each arm that you can remove. In terms of articulation, he does have kind of the upper torso swivel here. As you can see, his legs bend, and he's a pretty stiff figure, to be honest with you, but he can get his leg back about that much. The only real issue that I have with him is the articulation of the feet. You don't get any ankle pivot really, which isn't really too much of a problem. You can get him in different stances, and he doesn't really tip over much. If you're going to have him in a flight stance, it could be problematic because his head doesn't tilt back much more than that. And so having him in any type of flying pose is probably not going to work out too well for you. But you can get him looking side to side. You can rotate this gun here pretty much any way that you want. The guns on his arms you can also rotate, or you can just detach them. There are peg holes on the back of each arm, and so if you want to have his guns rotated out like that, you can. Alright, so you can get him to hold the gun, which looks pretty goofy if you ask me, because it has the peg on top. But if you want to do it, you can. I prefer to keep it underneath. So the paint job is probably one of my favorite things. You get a lot of the gunmetal gray in there with the silver accents. He has his little Air Force insignia over here. 006 on his chest. He has white eyes, and I'll try to zoom in here in a minute so you can get a better look. On the back, this is what the figure looks like. There's no holes or anything on the back. You do have the serial number markings there, but solid figure overall. I'm impressed with it. I like it. With my figures, I'm not too particular about the articulation. I know some people want, head joints to move this way and that way. With me, I pretty much pose them according to what the figure can do. So like I said, this guy, you're not really going to get him in any kind of flying stance where he's flying heads on, because his head's not going to move up. But having him stand up works out perfectly, and I think he looks pretty awesome. Okay, so now we have the 2 different versions of WarMachine, and as you can see, this one's a lot slimmer type of an armor. And then this one here bulks up a little bit, and then finally we get the last one, the Endgame version, where he's just pretty massive. I love that armor on him. I like all 3 versions of WarMachine, to be honest with you, but I think the Endgame version is my favorite. Previously it was this version here, but yeah, I think the newest version is my personal favorite. Like I said, people are probably going to have some complaints about the articulation, but I don't know that any of the other versions really had movement on the head where you would be able to get him into a flying position like I was talking about anyway. So if people complained about that previously, then they'll probably still have the same complaints. I think it would have been nice if they added some paint detail to the repulsor blasters in his hands. As you can see, they're just kind of a solid gray. But other than that, the paint apps look perfectly fine to me. I haven't compared it to any images from the actual movie yet, but looks good to me. So now there are shoulder pads here, which are flexible a little bit, so you see that they do move when you move up the shoulder, so that's a good feature. I'm probably not going to pose him like that, but if you want to, you can, get his arms out there spread apart pretty well. So overall, I'm pretty pleased with this WarMachine figure. I give it probably a 3 out of 5. I think they could have done some better things with the articulation, with the head. Ankle pivot would have been appreciated, but overall, solid figure. So thank you guys for watching. As always, thank you for your support, and I'll see you on the next video.